Before Omuchi learned how to bury a name, before lies were dressed as mercy and fear wore the mask of wisdom, there was a girl who belonged to the river. Her name was Adanne. She was born during a season the elders still spoke about in lowered voices. The year the rains refused to stop and the harmattan came late, uncertain, as though the sky itself could not decide whether to bless the land or test it. Old women said such children arrived carrying two destinies, one written in joy, the other in sorrow. Only time would choose which one would rise. Adanne grew quietly like the strongest things often do. Her parents lived at the far edge of Omuchi, where the red earth thinned into bush and survival demanded patience more than strength. Her father, Okurie, wove baskets from reeds that caught his palms often year after year. Her mother, Wakeko, sold dry fish by the roadside and prayed in whispers that sounded like pleading. Poverty lived with them like an uninvited relative, but Adanne never wore it like shame. Each morning, long before the village stirred, she walked to the river Mere Udo with a clay pot balanced on her head. Her steps were steady, her back straight, her eyes thoughtful. Other girls complained of sore feet and heavy loads, but Adanne moved as though the river had taught her how to carry weight without bending. People noticed, not because she was beautiful, though she was, but because her presence lingered. She listened when others spoke. She knelt when elders passed. She broke up fights without raising her voice and tended the sick with a gentleness that made pain feel seen. Some called her foolish for it. Others said kindness would break her. The river never did. Mirudo accepted her every morning, its waters cool against her ankles, its surface reflecting her face like a quiet promise. She spoke to it sometimes, softly, when no one else was around, and the river listened, the way ancient things always do. It was there on a morning, heavy with mist and silence, that fate found her. Prince Obina had not meant to go to the river that day. The palace had grown unbearable, its wall thick with expectation, its air heavy with duty. He was the first son of King Ezanyi, raised to rule, trained to command, shaped carefully into a future he had never chosen. Every step he took echoed with the weight of ancestors who ruled without apology. That morning he escaped. He dressed not as a prince but as a hunter and rode beyond the guards, letting the path lead him where it wished. He did not know what he was searching for, only that staying within palace walls felt like slow suffocation. He heard laughter before he saw her. It was soft and unguarded, the kind that came from ease rather than performance. It reached him over the sound of moving water and made him stop without knowing why. When he turned, he saw her. Adanne stood at the riverbank, her wrapper tied securely at her waist, her feet sunk slightly into the mud. She was teaching two young girls how to wash clothes without wasting soap, correcting them gently, laughing when one slipped and splashed water everywhere. Obina forgot how to breathe. There was nothing dramatic about her appearance, no jewels, no silk, just sunlight catching her skin, water gliding over her hands, and a calmness that unsettled him more than beauty ever had. When she finally noticed him, her laughter faded. She recognized palace blood instantly. Adanne bowed, lowering her eyes. "My lord," she said respectfully, "forgive us. We did not know the land was claimed today." Her voice was steady, unafraid, but cautious. She had learned early what proximity to power could cause. Obina stared at her, was lodged uselessly in his truth. "The land belongs to the river," he said at last, his voice lower than usual, "and the river does not bow to me." She looked up then, surprised, and their eyes met fully for the first time. Something passed between them. Quiet, immediate, irreversible. Adane felt it and stepped back instinctively. "We will leave," she said quickly, gathering the girls. "No," Obina said too fast. She paused. He steadied himself, aware of how his pulse he suddenly felt. You may stay," he added. "I was leaving, actually." She studied him briefly, then nodded. "Thank you, my lord." She did not ask his name. She did not ask why a prince stood alone by a river meant for villagers. She returned to her washing. Obinna mounted his horse and rode away soon after, his chest tight, his thoughts unsteady, but the river did not release him. That evening, as the palace lamps were lit and drums echoed through stone corridors, Obinna realized something had changed. A restlessness settled in his bones, quiet but persistent. Far away, Adane lay on her mat, staring into the dark, her heart strangely awake. Neither of them slept, and somewhere between the palace walls and the river edge, Faith began its slow, merciless work.